Seeming to look around the cafeteria as if searching for something. Sudden wave of pain was felt on your head, your whole face. And the last thing you saw was Crow calling out your name before passing out. Lovely. I probably should have went to the library. Ugh, where am I? What's happening there, Soul? What's going on? Hello everybody, I'm Degenerate, and welcome to a game called The Kid at the Back. This is a game I recently saw like on social media, whatever, and I thought the art style looked really nice, so I wanted to play it, see what it's about. There's only 2 love interests apparently, so yeah. Let us begin. It was many a year ago.
Huh?
In a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know. Oh, I thought I had a stroke doing that. By the name of Annabelle Lee. Okay. Day 1, the beloved. Nice. Do I name myself Professor? And class dismissed. By our next meeting, I need a full report of the chosen poem everyone searched. Got it? Totally. The classroom was then filled with a series of low yes ma'ams and a few hums. Satisfied, your literature teacher packs up her things and went out of the classroom. When she was out, the students went on a series of chitter and chatter. Others stood up, dragging their chair as they prepared to head out for a lunch break. A slight yawn escaped your lips. Your eyes gazed outside through the classroom's window. The sky is starting to dim, the sun's rays blocked by the dark clouds looming. You curse under your breath. It's going to rain, just my luck. I didn't bother to bring an umbrella too. You sighed in irritation as you stood up from your seat. Suddenly a tap on your shoulder interrupted your line of thought. You turned your head towards the person asking for your attention. Your eyes meet with a cobalt blue ones. They stare straight into your own orbs. Her brow raised as if in slight irritation. She is clearly impatient. Impatient for what? Oh. Sorry. Don't look. We're fine. Did you hear me? Do you want to come with us for lunch? I mean, I know you don't really eat lunch and spend most of your time somewhere else, but you sure you're not going to eat? I mean, look at you. Your eye twitched from her words. You have no idea if that was out of concern for your well-being or if she's trying to bring you down. Either way, it stung you. You wrapped your arms around yourself, your insecurity rising up to your throat, trying to suffocate you. I'd like to be suffocated by something else, not gonna lie. Whoa. Brittany. Is that my name? Just then a new and familiar voice broke your inner turmoil. Oh, that's right. More people. That's really insensitive of you. Imagine if someone else told you about how you look. Crow Ichabod? I'm gonna assume. The class representative and one of your close friends. Heck, probably only one of your friends that you really admire. Nice. And maybe have a tiny crush on. Okay. Brittany only huffed and looked away from Crow's spiteful gaze as he turns his attention to you. What's up? Crow gives you a small smile while handing out something to you. You look down to see it. Where's your ID? You dropped this, by the way. I did, didn't I? You grabbed your ID and looked down to see my name. Very nice. The ID shows my name. Degenerate. Along with my pronouns. Really? Thank you. And that's the perfect time to save, actually. You looked at the ID one more time and double-checked if it's correct. Name, degenerate. Pronouns, they, them. This doesn't seem right. Maybe my eyes are itchy. No, it's right. You took your ID back from Crow and gave him a small thank you. He gave you a close smile, muttering a no problem, as he went back to Brittany's side where the rest of his friends are. So, are you coming with us or not? Brittany said, clearly getting impatient by the second, her hand on her hip, while waiting for your response. You then decide to go with them, go to the library, go to the rooftop. Ooh, I love that sound. Let's just go with them. Brittany hummed a sound of content before turning her heel and heading towards the classroom exit. In tow with her is 4 other people, one being Crow. Ooh, the other 2 people. Or 3? Crow looks back at you by the door waiting for you. You caught up with them and meet eyes with Crow again. There was something in his gaze that sends a shiver down your spine. You quickly avert your eyes once you got out with Crow following behind you and the group heading towards the school's cafeteria. Keeps eyeing me, that's so weird. The cafeteria was loud, students lining up to grab today's lunch, while the rest went to a table with their packed lunches. So Dee, do you want to come with us to get the school's food for the day, or do you want to grab a table with the others? Brittany said, her gaze fixated on you. Who's that little guy? Hello? Is this the other person? Brittany, along with Crow and a girl with an orange uniform, seem to be grabbing school lunch. Oof. These are the other 2 people. Meanwhile, the 2 guys with them have their own packed lunch, about to head off to find a seat for the group. You decide that you would like to stay with those 2 guys that were there. I think it's very interesting. The one on the other end. I packed my own lunch. Brittany just shrugged. Brittany, do you hate me? Alright then, let's go, Jess. I'm gonna guess the one with the orange is Jess. She went to line up with the rest of the students, the girl with glasses following up behind her. You really need to recall who are your friends. Who are the friends you hang out with again? The girl with glasses you recalled when Brittany mentioned her name was Jess. Look at me, correct. As per usual. She's a big nerd and has a fondness for this idol named... What was his name again? Aries? Whatever. I guess we don't care. You honestly don't care. She's really quiet and attached to the hip towards Brittany like a dog. It's pathetic. Damn. Rude. I'll go line up as well. You'll be fine with these 2? Yes. Crow asked you with concern laced in his tone. You face the other 2 boys. Let's get to know them. One clearly talking the other male's ear off, while the other doesn't really give a damn. Seeming to look around the cafeteria as if searching for something. Sorry, this music is nice. You nod your head to Crow and he gave you a pat on the head. A blush making its way to your cheeks before he went along with Brittany and Jess. You then head off to where the 2 guys at. What? Them already seated on the table while bringing out their own packed lunch. Your food always looks good, Gio. I bet they taste great. Ah! Did I press it 2 times? By accident? Oh, interruption. Alright, I get it. I always forget. No. Okay. The guy named Gio said as he slapped the jock's hand away from his bento box. The jock pouted, rubbing his hand before taking out his own packed lunch. As you sit down across the 2 boys, Gio kept his eyes on you for quite a while, not breaking his gaze as he chews on his lunch. A shiver went down your spine. The jock beside him somehow just remembered your presence on the table and turned his head towards you. Oh, right. I've been sitting here this whole time. Really? D, right? What did you bring for lunch? I guess I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna choose. I mean, if you don't mind sharing. I'm not sharing. You seem to be different. Both on what it is and if you mind sharing it to me. Unlike this guy beside me, Gio only rolled his eyes when the jock nudged his shoulder, letting out an irritated groan. Don't bother with Daryl. We'll take your food either way, even if you did give him some. Give him some. Hey now. While the two bicker on, you just give a small chuckle and ate your packed lunch. In the corner of your eye, you notice Brittany, Jess, and Crow with their lunch trays on hand, heading towards where you three are seated at. Move your ass aside, Daryl. These guys are so interesting so far. A loud gasp escaped through Brittany's lips. Her mouth opened in shock with the food that was on her tray, now splattered across her white uniform. Oh no. Oh my god, Brittany! Mean girl? I thought Brittany would be like the queen. Mean girl? Oops, sorry about that. You should have watched where you were going there. Excuse me? Plus Brittany is super tall? Beat that bitch. Beat her up. Brittany's eyes met with the person responsible. A group of girls, definitely bullies. You've got to be bigger than them. You're so tall. And judging from Brittany's face filled with rage, they seem to know each other. Britt, are you alright? You should get yourself... Oh. You fucking bitch. This is my only clean uniform. How dare you? Beat her up. I want to see it. Let me see you beat her up. Oh, look at Miss Claire all flared up. Claire? That's Brittany. Careful there, sweetie. You'll get wrinkles. What? That's clearly Brittany. What, are you dumb? It's not like you're all ugly already. Huh? And by ugly, this is getting ugly quite fast. Everyone's gazes were on the group of girls, some taking out their phones, either taking pictures or started recording, of course. Crow tried to come in between them to stop the fight, but he wasn't fast enough. Kill that bitch. Next thing we knew, another loud gasp was heard. Uh-oh. A wide smile was on Brittany's face, food on the mean girl's wet uniform as well. Jess's face filled with shock as the food from her tray is gone. Take that shit, Stain. Ah, how could you? My gosh. Even though you did it first. Food fight, of course. Next thing everyone knows, the cafeteria is filled with rowdy teenagers and food flying across the area. Are those trays? It's a food fight, not a tray fight. A sudden wave of pain was felt on your head, your whole face. And the last thing you saw was Crow calling out your name before passing out. Lovely. I probably should have went to the library. Ugh, where am I? Oh, you're awake, thank goodness. Yeah. That was awful. Why did everyone have to get involved? You could just beat her up. Not thrown food at her as well. Bro? Yeah. You tried to sit up, but the sudden pain that went through your head stopped you. Crow gently pushed you back down on what seems to be a bed before taking a seat beside it. The nurse already bandaged your head, don't push yourself. Ugh, what happened? Well, after Daryl started that mess of a food fight, the principal was called in to stop it. Daryl got lucky enough to escape when he did. Gio was nowhere to be seen. As for Brittany, what about her? Well, Jess helped her out to grab a new uniform from the principal's office. Then why does my head hurt so much? Someone somehow threw a tray, and you were unfortunate enough to get hit by it. Because that's what it means when People said say food fight. You're supposed to throw trays instead of just food. Okay. Thankfully, I got you out of there before it got ugly. It already did get ugly as soon as someone threw a tray. Thanks, Crow. I owe you one. Don't mention it. Anyway, it's 1:15 in the afternoon. 1:15. I'm not gonna try to figure that out. I should probably head out to my next class. You should stay here until the nurse gets back. You'll be alright alone here, right? No. Yes, you can go ahead. You sure? Yes, I'll be fine. You've done enough for me today. I gave him a small smile, but he did not return it. Why? Bro then squeezed your hand, quite hesitant of letting you go before letting go. You miss it as soon as he lets go. He stood up from his seat, but not before giving you a smile, and left the infirmary. You groaned and lied back down on the bed, feeling the bandage on your head. At least the pain is slowly dying a bit. Hope it didn't leave a mark on my head. Just then you heard the door open, the nurse's voice echoing through the room. As the clicking of her heels gets louder, she draws closer.
Hello, nurse!
Oh, wait a minute. I was about to say, this is our nurse? Yeah. Yeah. Smash. The school nurse entered and following her was a tall student dressed in all black. Oh, dressed in black. Seems to be holding out his left hand, and there can clearly see a streak of red flowing. You should be thankful you didn't... You should be thankful you didn't cut a vein. How were they able to get past with that pocket knife in the first place? No. The nurse sighed. Seems like she got her hands full with another student. The latter, however, didn't say anything. Let out a small hiss when the nurse dabbed antibacterial on his wound. You sat up slowly, careful not to hit your head on anything else before sitting up, and looked at the student and the nurse. Yo. Your eyes met with reddish-orange ones as the nurse finishes up wrapping around his wound. A blotch of red slowly seeping out and staining the once white bandage. His eyes still on you. Oh, you're finally awake. I am. I feel like a brand new person. The nurse finally noticed your presence. She took out some painkillers from one of the cabinets and gave some to you. Take these to lessen the pain. You both are free to get back to your class. Or you can stay here and recover. I'll go back. Thanks for patching me up, nurse. The boy said before heading out of the infirmary. The nurse just shook her head before returning her attention to you. You can take some extra pills, but not too much. You can come back here if you ever feel anything wrong. Take care now. I didn't say I wanted to leave, but hey, let's get back to class. You thanked the nurse before heading out of the infirmary and on to your next class. That was something. You just barely made it to your next class. Your professor already on his desk and was slowly bringing out their tools for the lesson of the day. You looked across the room, paintbrushes by the shelves. The week's featured artworks with a few blank canvases hidden in a shelf. You looked around the classroom before your eyes landed on familiar red ones. We could have walked to class together. What the heck? It's the guy from the clinic. How come I just noticed his presence just now? He's always been part of the same art class as me? Sure. And judging from his face, the bandage around his left hand, it doesn't seem to be much of a problem to him. You shook your head and took your seat. I'll be assigning each one of you... Ooh, a partner? I'll be assigning each one with a partner to work with for the upcoming weeks. You and your partner will be doing 3 different artworks that needs to be submitted by the deadline. Hope you all got a partner already by this time. This is my first time hearing of this, so yeah. Now I want you all to go to your designated partners before I start explaining your task. Shit. You mumbled under your breath. This is what you get for not attending his class last time. You don't have a partner. Oh no. Whatever shall we do? maybe turn our attention back to the person who's at the clinic, who probably also doesn't have a partner? You panicked as you looked around, trying to spot some loner or an, or an unfortunate soul like you who wasn't able to attend last time. From the looks of it seems like everyone is already partnered up. Just great. You were forced out of your seat since your seatmate's partner would be occupying it for the class. Unlike the rest of the class scurrying around to meet their partner, there was one who wasn't moving from his seat. You went to where he was situated at, seeming to be reading a book. You let out a small cough to catch his attention. He closed his book and looked up at you. Seems like you're a bit lost there. No, I think I've found exactly where I need to be. Do you have a partner? No. Well, just your luck then. Me neither. So, do you want to be partners? Sure, why not? I'm glad you didn't say no. But then again, I kind of wanted to hear you tell me no. I don't know why. You took a vacant seat right beside him, his book now tucked away, and on his desk is now a pen and a piece of paper, seemingly ready to take notes. Hey, I never got to know your name. It's not quite important. It is to me. Well, I should at least know what to call you instead of green streaked hair guy. He raised a brow at your silly nickname you gave him before slightly shaking his head. Sullivan Brugmansia. Sullivan. But just call me Saul. Saul. Saul means sun or brightness, right? Your name contradicts your whole glam, not gonna lie. I'm gonna do that one because I'd rather that. I guess you can say that. I like it, it's a unique name. Thanks. Well, I'm degenerate. Nice to finally know your name. Saul nodded with a smile. A small smile before returning his attention back to the professor. For this term, I want you and your partners to pass 3 art pieces. First one would be a portrait of your partner, strictly on paper with charcoal as a medium. Okay. You groaned. Boomer art teachers. Your professor then proceeds to give the other 2 tasks before leaving you, and the rest of the class to do your task for the day. What were the other 2? What the heck? So it's 6 things. I have to do 3 and the partner has to do 3? Oh my god, what's the point of partners? It's like, lessen the load. Be mature. Everyone started talking with their partners, some taking out their needed materials as the other ones poses. He turned to Saul as he takes out his own charcoal pencil and his sketch pad for the class. I'm gonna tell you right now, Saul, I'm not that good at art. Yeah. I'm sure you're fine. Everyone starts somewhere. Plus, I can't really judge you since I haven't seen your work before. Along with this damned injury on my hand. Alright, let's not stress that hand anymore. Well, prepare to be amazed. That's the spirit. Is it? From the newfound determination and Soul's cheering, you took out your own sketch pad and charcoal pencil as you worked on his portrait. While you were sketching up, you can't help but avert your eyes on his bandaged hand. guys. You're a good guy, Soul. How about we hang out again tomorrow? By your request, Soul's eyes widen in disbelief. He lets out a breath that he was somehow holding before sighing. Of course, I'll see you tomorrow then? Yeah. It was very pleasant. He nodded and walked off, giving him a wave goodbye, him returning with his own small wave. That was nice. As you walked through the hallway, your eyes caught on something on the nearby bulletin board. The poster was planted on the large board. Ooh, a Halloween party? I love Halloween. The Hallows Ball. Pumpkin. Come enjoy the festive spirit of Hallows Eve. A Halloween party. I love Halloween, bro. By the time you arrived at your small apartment, it was already past 5 p.m. You stretched out your arms and let out a small groan. You locked your doors and decided to just order takeout for dinner. I'm glad we specified that we locked our doors. Hopefully nothing like crazy happens, right? You went to your living room and plopped down on the couch and took out your phone, scrolling through until a ping notified you of a new message. Daryl, anyone want to go to the Halloween party this Friday? It's gonna be awesome. Hey, Brittany. Aren't we a little bit too old for costume parties? Brittany, stop. Oh my gosh. Please come. Is it required? Gio, what is with this? No fucking... There's no profile picture. You two are no fun at all. I won't go if it's not a school requirement. Gio, just go. Much less a waste of my time. Is it? No, it isn't. Oh, it's a little cat picture. But it would be a great and fun experience for all of us. I mean, we should loosen up a bit, you know? Jess, I agree with Crow. Who's that? Punk. Count me in. Pass. I've got more important things to do than party. What? Could possibly be more important. Now, will you excuse me? I'll be doing my leftover tasks for tonight. Fine. Sheesh, just stick in the mud as usual. How about you? Me? You joining? It'll be fun. It's a Halloween party. Yes. You were honestly surprised they somehow remembered you. What? Are we not friends with these people? Checking your calendar through your phone, you didn't seem to have any plans in the near future. Or plans at all. You'd like to just spend your time in your apartment alone. I mean, sure. That's great to hear. Bro seems happy about it. You giggled. Because we have a huge crush on him. This also reminds you of something. Or rather, someone. Opening another chat, you tapped in Soul's newly added contact and sent him a message by sending the image of the same poster Daryl sent. A Halloween party hosted by the school? Yeah. I'm not quite into parties. Oh. Well, that's alright. Just asking, that's all. Wait. If you're coming, then I'm coming as well. Cool. Really? Really? Do you plan on dressing up? I don't know, do you? It's a Halloween party. I mean, it's a costume party, so why not? I'll try to think of something then. Yay! You swear you can feel the smile behind those words. With a quick word of goodbye, you set your phone down when you heard your doorbell. That must be the food delivery. I wonder what we ordered. Afterwards, you ate your dinner and prepared yourself for bed. You thought of today and the events that occurred. And meeting Soul, of course. Yeah. He's a really nice guy. It's a wonder how I never met him despite sharing a single class with him. A single class? I feel like he's in all our classes and we just never noticed. Oh well. You entered your bedroom, letting out a big yawn as you stretched your body. You turned to your laundry slowly piling up and scratched your head. We'll probably do laundry tomorrow. But for now... Sleep. You plopped yourself on the soft cushions of your bed, getting into a comfortable position and slowly dozing off as you closed your eyes. embracing sleep as the night goes. Dream sequence or something? Hello? Oh! What's happening? What? What's happening there, Soul? What's going on? That is a penis on my screen right now. He's asking for more of something. I totally didn't even read the warnings. Shit. Interesting. Uh-oh. Obviously, I'm censoring it. It's not on the screen much. I'm still gonna censor it though. Let's just say he finished. I made another mess. Clearly. And yet these still smell like you. I don't remember giving him anything. It seems like my luck is finally turning around for the better. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. My one and only soulmate. Isn't that so amazing? Oh shit! Thank you for playing the day one. If you like to support my journey, I think I already do follow them. I hope to see you soon. Bye. Wow, that was definitely something. Oh my gosh. Well, that was day one. I could have swore there was also day two. I guess I was bugging. Let's see if we go to the library. No, thank you. I think I'll head to the library today. Brittany just gave a low huff, not saying anything. She turned around with four of her friends following her lead, one of them being Crow. He, however, gave you one last look before heading out with the rest of the group. A sigh of relief escaped your lips as you gathered your thoughts and things. Next stop, the library. Are we actually friends with these people? I don't get it. I feel like we're friends. I mean, sometimes I guess it's not noticeable. I don't know. The hallway was rowdy and filled with a mix of sweaty and tired young adults. Some on their way to their next class while the rest went to the cafeteria's direction. And of course, there were some who was going to the same direction you are. Okay. Sometimes the words are quite confusing. Maybe I'm just dumb though. The library door is beyond your reach. A smile etched on your face, already missing the smell of books. We like to read? Okay. You opened the doors as you were hit by the smell of coffee and books. You went to your usual spot in the library. The one by the large window near the cafe section. The fancy things about your university is that their library is a library cafe. Students can get coffee as early in the morning up until the afternoon. It is a huge hit amongst the students, and you can't seem to blame them. Coffee fuels every college student's souls, especially getting work done. As you made your way towards the usual spot, however, you halted when a person suddenly took a seat on the spot. You groaned. It's great. What should I do about this? Find someone else to sit, ask him to move away from your seat. Just take the seat beside him. Sure. They're sitting in, so I don't think it should matter. At the cost of the comfort of your favorite spot, you don't want to deal with him nor want to engage in conversation. No, I do want to engage. You walk towards where he's at, him not minding your presence, and took a seat right next to him. He paid you no mind as you placed your things down and took out your laptop, preparing to write down a head start of your report. Time passed by, and the next thing you know, there was only a few students left in the library. The guy beside you closed his book, chucked it in his bag, and left the library. You turned to look up at the library's large clock. A few minutes before your next class, you stopped writing down, turned off your laptop, and placed all of your things in your bag before heading out of the library as you quickly rushed out to make it to your next class. Oh, let's see what this is. Saul looked away, scratching his cheek. Guess so. Not really the jolly type. Hugo's more of that. Who's that? Who's that? Let's say we're pretty good at art. So gives a small smile. I'd love to see some of your works then. Would you like me to draw my portrait first? Sure. Wait, let me get my things. He's not injured this time. You took out your sketch pad and a charcoal pencil as Soul relaxes on his seat. Would you like me to pose or... Maybe do a 3/4 angle pose? Alright. Slay? 1. You look amazing. Jesus Christ. Let's get a full view of that. Yeah. I like that. Your eyes scanned his face. The more you look at him, the more you notice some of his features. Yeah, his beautiful features. Oh my gosh. His cheekbones. His lips with 2 piercings. His thick eyebrows. The way his hair settles down on his shoulders. And his reddish orange eyes. He's actually quite handsome. You're telling me. For a moment you just stared in his eyes. He noticed and stared back. His pupils dilated before he realized he was staring. He rises to his cheeks. He quickly averted his head away. Excuse me. Eyes on me. Sorry, I'm not used to being stared at for that long. Relax, it's just me. Plus, you'll stare at my boring face after I'm done with your portrait. Your face isn't boring. I actually think you look beautiful. Really? He says without even thinking twice. His eyes meet yours, half-lidded, and his pupils were wide. Now it's your turn to turn red. You hid your face behind your sketch pad and whacking him with your charcoal pencil. Stop saying stupid. Stop saying stupid and stay still. Stop saying stupid things and stay still. Soul just chuckled and tilted his movements, a hand on his chest and a smile on his face. How beautiful and amazing. Before you knew it, the bell rang and class was over. You weren't done with your sketch, however. The conversation kept repeating in your mind, and it made it hard for you to concentrate. And like how you're going to show it to Soul? Come on, just a peek? It's not done yet. Boo. You chucked the sketchpad in your bag before Soul would grab hold of it. You got up from your seat and headed out of the classroom, Soul coming close behind you with his own bag as he leaves as well with the rest of the class. That was interesting. Now we have to go to the rooftop. Let's see what that's about. Go to the riff. A tick of irritation formed on your forehead before huffing out the anger. Actually, I was feeling somewhere else today, so no thanks. You and your group can go ahead. Brittany raised an eyebrow before shrugging her shoulders. Do yourself then. I feel like Brittany doesn't like us, but I like Brittany, so you're just gonna have to get used to it. Because she came to us already upset, so it doesn't seem like I'm very welcome, which I couldn't give any more of a fuck. So yeah, all you have to do is tell me you don't want me around and I will stop being around. Simple. If you're gonna continue to try to include me in shit knowing damn well you don't want me around, you're wasting both of our time, not just yours. So yeah, better to just tell the person how you feel so that we could save ourselves the heartache. With that aside though, Brittany, You're amazing. Look at you. You're so tall and amazing. She snapped her fingers before turning around and heading out with the rest of her friends. Because we seem to constantly address, like, the group as her friends. Like, we're just a tag along, I guess. I don't know. It's just really weird. I'm paying attention to the wording, that's all. In all honesty, you have no idea where to go despite the school being very notorious and had so many facilities. You were thankful you got accepted here in the first place through your scholarship. Ooh, we're a genius. Making friends in this forsaken school is a whole new level. You sighed and looked out through the school's windows at the darkening sky. Maybe the smell and sound of the incoming rain might help ease the burning feeling within you. With the goal in mind, you went to the rooftop. Cool. The rooftop is off limits, but they don't often bother to even lock it up. Much less barricade it. If you don't want us to go up there, you should probably lock it. Yeah. Once you got in, you took a seat on the pavement under a small shade as droplets of rain slowly descended down from the sky. Just then you heard footsteps to your right. A few mutters of words were heard. Curiosity nagged you. You went to the corner where the sound came from, and there stood what seemed to be a student with bluish-green hair. Who's this? They were in a call. There's steps in a cycle going back and forth as he talks to whoever he's talking to behind his flip phone. His other hand grips his hair, clearly irritated to whoever he's talking to. He flipped his flip phone closed and let out a sigh. Suddenly his body froze. Hello? The drastic change in his demeanor sent chills down your spine. I can see you, you know. Show yourself. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna keep hiding. You slowly inch forward, showing yourself to the strange student. The more you look at his face, the more you seem familiar, and judging from his facial expression, he was thinking the same thing. How much did you hear? I heard absolutely nothing. Only heard you curse and nothing else. You answered with honesty. He raised a brow, trying to look at your face. See if you're telling the truth. He sighed and shook his head. Either way, it's rude to eavesdrop on someone's conversation. I told you, I just got here. You burrow your eyebrows. He just chuckled, acting as if it's just silly teasing. You seem familiar. Let me remember. He closed his eyes, his hand on his chin, doing a thinking motion, like those cartoon detectives in TV shows. Degenerate from art class, correct? Lie? Nod your head. Yes. Why would I lie? The student smiled in glee. That's great. That means you'd be willing to help me with something. Wait, what? I'm Hugo, by the way. This is Hugo. You see, I won't be able to make it to the next class, and I kind of promised my partner for the class that I'll be there. Hugo chuckled. A sweat dropped from his cheek. You gave him a look. Seriously? But I'll make it up to you, I promise. I'm quite close to the student council and happen to know a few connections. I would say that I'm close to the student council as well. I might be able to refer you if you'd like. He says with a wink and a nudge. Wanting you to take the offer. That does seem like a good offer. Can help lessen your expenses and have a higher discount on your scholarship, and judging from his looks, it doesn't seem like you don't have a choice. Doesn't seem like you have a choice. With a sigh, you accept his offer. Hugo gave you a pat on the back as if you guys had been long old friends, before escorting you off the rooftop with him in tow. The school bell rings, indicating the start of the next class. Okay, so we did that. Let's just do this again, because we already did that. Not that good of art. Pretty good. Wait. He had like bandages. Who hit him? Go ahead, at least I can count on you. Wait, what? Why is that different? Not that good at art. Pretty good at art? Wait, what? I'm still quite a beginner. Got nothing to worry about. My usual partner isn't much of an artist either. Your usual partner? I already had an assignment earlier, an assigned partner for this class. But at the last minute he ditched me for some important family business. He never tells me though. And I'm not the type to pry either. Does your friend go by the name of Hugo, perhaps? Yeah, how did you know? I met him during lunch. He was at the rooftop. Typical of him. Sorry you got dragged into his mess of taking his place. You shook your head, telling him that you don't mind one bit. He then keeps talking as if he's scolding the green-haired lad back in the rooftop like a little brother. It was actually cute. You slowly took out your sketch pad and started drawing Soul's different expression as he talks. Would you believe me if I tell you that guy is one of the top students in the entire class, yet is always missing in action? Really now? He doesn't seem to be the type of guy. Which part? Being a top student or always missing in action? Soul's brow raised as you shrugged, and you shrugged as you kept on sketching his face. Soul, however, caught up to what you were doing and stood up from his seat and tried to pry your sketch pad out of your hands. Were you drawing me this entire time? I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? No. Liar. I thought I was supposed to be the one drawing you, not the other way around. I feel like we're both supposed to be doing it? What the heck? He sat back on his seat and crossed his arms, his eyes narrowed while he bit his lower lip. Come on, it's not that big a deal. Plus you look really cute. Soul's cheeks turned red and eyes popped wide open from your comment and looked away. Grip on his arm tightened as he wrinkled his long sleeves. I tried. Not as cute as you? You said something? Nothing. Interesting. You tilted your head to the side. You sure mumble a lot. It's a habit, I'm not used to talking a lot. You're talking about your friend Hugo, you seem to be fond of him, regardless. Soul just sighed and rubbed his nape. His expression relaxed a bit. I owe him a lot, that's all. Enough about Hugo though, let's continue on with our task. Alright. I'll keep drawing you. And I'm drawing, and that's final. Ah. Okay. Alright, Grumpy. As you drew, you couldn't help but stare at his face and the bandage on his cheek. And judging from how much is covering half of his face is quite a large bruise. You fell down the stairs or something? What makes you say that? He asked. You pointed at his wound on his cheek with your pencil. Well, you can say that. Nothing for you to worry about, though. Stop it. You weren't sure if you wanted to pry more into the conversation, much less want to know what exactly happened, because from the way he talks, it doesn't seem like he fell. But that's a story for another day. Hope it gets better soon. Thanks. You are so welcome. So I managed to sketch up your portrait, but was caught up with the bell. Not being able to finish on time. You tried to pry off your sketchbook from... What? From your hands again, however? Trying to get rid of the doodles you made of him during his little rant about his friend. But you chucked your sketchbook in your bag before he could get his hands on it. Soul eventually gave up and started packing as well. You and him went to the exit door of the classroom and continued on in the hallway. Because I kind of just want to exhaust every option to see what happens. And it's different. Let's go back to the library though, because there were other options. Find somewhere else to sit. Ask them to move away from your seat. And I just took a seat beside them. We're gonna ask them to move. See what happens. Maybe something bad? That's your seat and no one else is going to take it away from you. And your comfort. You puffed out your chest and went towards the person where your rightful spot should be. So in this time, something definitely happens, because if he always goes to the library, something occurs here. He was reading a book, way too focused on it, he didn't notice your presence for a short while. Cough. You faked a cough. This seems to catch his attention. You're in my seat. Can I have it back? This is the stupidest choice, by the way, because this is a public library. So anyone can come in here. He looks up from the book he's reading, and you're met with piercing reddish eyes. Eye bags right under it as if he's never gotten a wink of sleep for a week. You twiddle your thumbs, your heart thumping from your chest, says form, as you returned his gaze, ending in some sort of stare down. He raised a brow before looking around, under the table, on the seat, heck, even under his book before turning back to you. He's about to ask me if my name is on it. There we go. I don't see your name anywhere. A vein tightened. Oh, so he's trying to be a smartass. Interesting. Your cheeks puffed, and he gave a small chuckle before closing his book and placed it down on the table. I'll give you your seat back, but what can you offer in exchange? The seat next to me. Or you know what? I got a way better seat. But I have to go to the bathroom and wash my face first. And then you can sit. Coffee? Just give me my seat? Something intimate. Huh. I wasn't expecting more options. I will just save so that I could come back instead of just starting from the beginning every time. Let's obviously do the raunchiest one first. What, you want a hug or something? He raised a brow at you, a slight tilt to his head, wondering what you were trying to imply. Now that I have a good look at him, he actually looks kind of cute. Wait, what am I saying? Shaking your head, ignoring your cheeks heating up, you patted your temples, trying to get rid of the thoughts. Minding you no more, the guy returned his attention to the book in his hands. A groan escaped your mouth with a pout. You set your things down and sat on the chair next to him. So we never actually got our seat. Interesting. Just give me my seat. Let's be a bitch. I have no time for your games. Just leave me and let me have my seat that you stole. However, he just stared at you. A second passed before retuning his attention back to his book. If you really want to sit here, then make me. Either way, I'm already comfortable here, so I'm not leaving. Interesting. This guy is getting on your nerves. Okay, if he doesn't want to leave, then so be it. Without thinking, you moved to him before plopping yourself down on his lap. Wow. Balls. We have big balls. This clearly caught him by surprise, for he lets out a sharp gasp. His eyes wide, gripping the book he nearly threw away. Ooh, nice picture. You look behind him with a cocky smirk before setting down your things on the table and went on to your literature report. He hasn't said anything for a full minute, his body stiff. I bet it is. After what we saw in that ending? Yeah. Did he stop breathing too? Relax, will you? You're making it uncomfortable for me, and it's hard to concentrate. Is it hard to concentrate? To concentrate. The breath that he was holding was finally let out. He grumbled under his breath and placed his arms beside yours as he watches you go on with your work. Edgar Allan Poe? Yeah, what about it? What a coincidence, my report is about him too. But not on A Dream Within a Dream. What made you choose this poem out of everything else he's written? I don't know. That was a genuine question from him, eyeing you with curiosity. I just think it's interesting. The way he writes is unlike any other writer out there. Plus, I think this poem talks about being uncertain about something, like about life or about someone's feelings. You trailed off, the ache in your heart suddenly burst within your body. He seems to notice your change in demeanor before opening his mouth. I think that's a good topic to make a report on. Your eyes meet his, a smile on his face. A chuckle left your lips at his response. Thanks, I'll do my best on it. He realized he was staring for quite a while before looking away. A small red tint invading his cheeks, avoiding your gaze. You smiled and went on with your report on his lap. Him finally relaxed underneath you. About you. What's the poem you picked from the great Mr. Poe himself? The guy looked up as if thinking before turning to look at you. Have you read Annabel Lee? I have no idea what any of this is. If my memory serves me right, is it about that poem about their love for this woman named Annabel Lee, right? That poem, not gonna lie, has a lot of deep meaning and symbolism. Anyone can have multiple interpretations of it. But the main concept, at least in my opinion, is that the speaker loves Annabelle to the point of death and even after death. Yeah, pretty much. And I honestly think it's beautiful. Love? Death. Nice. His body laxed, mine somewhere else, but the small smile and the light in his eyes are apparent before his smile turned into a frown. But people refuse to let them be together, as if fate refuses them to die together. Oh, excuse me? I won't let it happen to me. Not again? What was that? What? Oh no, don't mind me. But yeah, that's my report. Sorry, I kind of started rambling on. No, I don't mind. Thanks for sharing. I honestly think it's quite interesting. Also, I don't think you'd be the type of person to be into romance. What is that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? Take away the does. Nothing. Some time passed, and there was only a few more minutes left before the bell rings. You packed up your things and stood up from your seat, almost forgetting you made someone some sort of cushion. Sorry for sitting on you like that. That was kind of rude of me. No, it's alright. I bet it is. I'd like for you to stay a bit longer, actually. What was that? Nothing. Your next class is art, correct? How did you know? It's my next subject. Who knows, maybe we're classmates. Or just have different teachers. That's how to sigh, seemingly disappointed at the realization. He packed up his things, and before heading towards the exit, you followed him on the way out. What? Just then you heard someone calling out your name. You faced to your left and saw no other than Crow, Brittany, and the rest of her group of friends. Oh, so it happened anyway. I see that you did spend your time in the library. I did. How was lunch? I didn't lie. Brittany's eyes narrowed. You didn't understand why, but the moment your eyes went to her maroon uniform, you kind of guessed what happened. That's gotta be one of the best food fights I've ever been in. The jock behind her exclaimed. He seemed to be unstained, save for a few spaghetti sauce on his jersey, but that didn't seem to bother him. Dearie, you better shut your... Oh, Durley? Durley? You better shut your mouth before I would do the honors for you. No, Brittany. Let's just go to the changing room and ask from the principal some extra uniform, alright? The girl with the glasses cuts off Brittany, calming her down in the process. You're right, let's go, Jess. Can't believe I have to be late to my next class because of this bullshit. I was looking for throwing food. Well, it really was that first bitch, and then it was her. Then again, you could have just took your tray and whacked her across the head with it. Simple. Daryl said nothing but hid behind the tall, stoic male as both Jess and Brittany left. Sometimes I forget how scary she is. Don't you agree, Gio? Get off me. Sometimes you wondered how the group were even friends. But then again, people don't usually approach your friend group. You often wonder. But then again, it's none of your business to pry. Ignore them. So back to you. Oh right, I actually had to fight someone for my favorite spot in the library. Talk about a pain in the ass. Bro just chuckled, his eyes telling you to go on. He shouldn't have gotten too far, he just left. You turned around, expecting the green-haired streak male to be there, but to your surprise, he was already gone. He's fast. Oh, curious, do you happen to know who they are? No. I never got to ask what his name was. Well, you better get off to your next class. We only have a few minutes left before the bell rings. I'll see you soon. Totally. You waved him goodbye. Bro going forward with Daryl and Geo behind. You scratched your head before heading towards the other direction and onto your next class as the bell rings, echoing through the hallway. You looked around the classroom, trying to look for a familiar boy. Bear. He's situated at the very back of the classroom. No injuries, see? So, clearly when we're not with him, something bad happens to him. Judging from his look, he's been staring at you for a while. Because we were with him all throughout the library. So, yeah. You gave him a small smile and a wave. He smiled back with a small wave of his own. You went to your seat by the window, turning around to face him one more time. His eyes still fixated on you, a hand on his cheek while admiring you. Heat raised up to your cheeks from the somewhat dreamy look on his face. You turned your head back to the front, focusing on whatever your professor is talking about. He sits at the back, no wonder I don't quite notice him. Yeah, I like picking that. It's the best option, bruh. But anyways, this actually seems very interesting and I might continue to play it. There's only a day 1 as for right now because it came out like 5 days ago. I don't even remember. It recently came out, so it's brand new. So if you guys enjoyed it, a like would be very much appreciated, of course, and subscribe for more of this when it you know, updates and stuff. And with all of that being said, I will see you guys next time.